Welcome, welcome, welcome. I got you going. I got you going. I've got everybody going for a wonderful fun night in the Kellie kitchen. Yay, I'm so happy you're here. We have a lot of really yummy, low carb, keto friendly foods that we're gonna make tonight for dinner, but also great stuff and ideas for Thanksgiving, which is right around the corner. Thank you so much for joining me. Most of these recipes that I'm making tonight, all but one, are on my website, thekellykitchen.com, thekellykitchen.com, and that's Kellie with an IE. We are going to get started with some sausage and peppers, already super low carb and keto friendly anyways. I'm going to show you how easy that is to make, and you can get that on the table like in 20-30 minutes for your entire family. And I love to double this recipe because it's great as leftovers. We're going to do my favorite cauliflower mash, and I'm going to do it in the Instant Pot. We are going to do a recipe that I just came up with today. Who's missing or who's concerned about missing stuffing on Thanksgiving? Well, I created a Thanksgiving stuffing chaffle today, and I'm going to show you how to make it. It's super easy. And then the last thing is kind of a wacky dessert, but we're still in pumpkin season, and in Southern California we're having like a little heat wave, so I made pumpkin spice cream popsicles. So we're going to watch those too. Hi Mendy, hi Darcy. Everybody, it's so great to see you. If you don't catch me live, put replay in the comments. If you're catching me live, say hi and tell me where you're coming from, because I read everything. And if you have any suggestions, a lot of the stuff that I make is people suggesting things to me. So we're going to get started. I have a cast iron skillet. We're going to turn that on high. Almost every single supermarket I've ever been to sells Italian sausage. You can get it in mild or hot. We like the hot version, and you're going to get the links, and you're going to get the raw links, and it's about a pound that we are going for. This is just over a pound, but most of them are right at about a pound, about 5 links. So I've got 5 Italian sausage links here. We're going to let my cast iron skillet heat up. This recipe has beautiful, colorful vegetables. If you want to lower the carbs even more, take the onions out, because the onions actually have most of the carbs in here. But we love onions, and we're more low carb right now than as opposed to strict keto. So anyways, you can omit the onions or reduce the onions if you wanted to. Oh, hi, Rebecca. How are you? Oh, you wanted to make the cranberry sauce. Okay, well, check the website because the recipe is there. And this is the sweetener that I use for the keto cranberry sauce. It's allulose, and I get Anthony's is a great brand. I just got it online. It just came today. I just kind of had it there. So I'm going to take my sausage. This is a 1-pan meal, but it's going to go in a couple different steps. So we're going to brown the sausage on all sides. We're just going to put that right into our skillet. We're going to let that brown for a few minutes on each side. Let me just give a quick wash of my hands. So this stuffing recipe came to me because last week I was on a call with Dr. Tro's Zoom support group on Tuesday, and that was like the big question: what is everybody doing for stuffing for Thanksgiving? And I didn't really have an answer, because I was going to try to make a recipe with this bread. So I get this bread, it's called Uprising, and it comes in a cube, but each cube is $15, and the recipe that they give uses 2 cubes, and it was just too elaborate. So I was just thinking like probably $60 or $50 to make that stuffing. It just did not make sense. we are doing a truffle version, which I'm super excited about. Okay, so our sausage is starting to brown on one side. We're going to brown them, but we're not going to fully cook them through just yet, and we'll just let that go. While those are browning, I'm going to get my chaffle stuffing mix ready. Oh, wait a second. Before I do that, we got to get our cauliflower mash started in our Instant Pot. Now, it only takes about a minute or two setting in the Instant Pot. However, the Instant Pot takes time to pressurize, and then we're going to do a quick release. So this is my just a huge cauliflower head. I cut it up in little pieces. I have the trivet at the bottom, and I have about a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of water. I did a generous salt on here, and I can't show it on camera because there's not enough space here, but I've got my Instant Pot right over there, and I'm going to put this on steam for 2 minutes, and then that'll be done in just a few minutes. So we'll just put that on here. We're going to say steam, 2 minutes, and we'll let that do its thing, and it's off on its own. We're going to check our sausage. Oh, perfect. You see how that's starting to brown? Nice. Okay, so we'll flip these, and then we will get started on our chaffle stuffing mix. Now, I'm going to try and pull together a stuffing casserole dish, but right now this is just a stuffing chaffle recipe, and we think it tastes exactly like stuffing. It just doesn't, it's not as sort of soft and soggy as stuffing is, but hopefully by next week I'll have something. So we're going to get this started here. So in my small pan over here, can you see this? I'm going to move this here. I got to move this here so you guys can see this. So in my small pan here, I'm going to do 4 tablespoons of butter. We'll get that going. We'll move my pepper and stuff there. For my truffles, the seasoning, we're going to let the butter melt in here. We will move that around. While that's melting, I just want to say something about my apron. So if you guys notice, this is my Kellie Kitchen apron, and I'm having a giveaway. So if you go to my Instagram and like the sausage and peppers post, and then comment with a couple of friends that are on Instagram that need to see my keto recipes, do that, and by tomorrow morning I will pick one winner, and you will get a one of my Kellie Kitchen aprons that comes in blue, dark gray, or white. So go to the Kellie Kitchen on Instagram and like it and follow it, and follow me and suggest some friends, and then somebody will get one of these aprons tomorrow. Tomorrow I will direct message you and get your address and get that in the mail to you. Okay, so our sausage is now starting to, I love this cast iron pan because it really browns, it holds the heat so well. So I'm just gonna lean these up against the side so I can get all the sides of my sausage. Again, the sausage will not be fully cooked all the way through, but don't worry, we're going to get there. So our butter is starting to fully melt, and I have a half a cup of celery finely chopped, and then I have a 1/4 cup of finely chopped yellow onion, and we're going to let that just sort of soften up in there. We'll let that soften over like a medium flame. Get that out of the way. And then I have some dried herbs. This is sort of the holy grail of stuffing flavors, which is sage, thyme, and rosemary. And I just use dried herbs. You could use fresh if you wanted to. I use dry because that's what I had, and we're going to just dump those right into our onion and celery and butter mixture. And then I really like to use fresh parsley. Again, if all you have is dry parsley, you can use that, but I'm using 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. And that's going to go into our mixture here also. So all of these flavors are my whole kitchen smells just amazing right now. And we're going to just let that cook together. We're going to let that cook down and bring all those flavors together and really soften up the onions and the celery. In the meantime, while that is softening up, I am going to take our sausage. If you can see, it is starting to brown on all sides. And we're just going to let it sit there on our cutting board. This sausage comes in mild flavor also. So if you have little kids or maybe a little sensitive stomach, you can go with the mild version as well. So these are not finished cooking, but we're going to just take them off the heat and we're going to leave them over here and let them just sit while we work on our other stuff. Okay, so our pan is still over medium heat. I'm going to add a tablespoon of olive oil. Just a tiny bit because you've already got some of the flavors from the sausage in there. And I'm going to get my onion starting to soften up. We'll get that moving around. Now, this recipe calls, I was really surprised when I was doing this recipe, and I always like to keep in mind all the different carb calculations. And I usually pre-keto made this recipe with balsamic vinegar. But balsamic vinegar actually tends to have, for 2 tablespoons, it has 5 carbs. Not a lot, but it's always good to keep in mind, when you're trying to reduce carbs, if you've already got the onions and then you're adding the peppers and then you're adding the balsamic vinegar on top of that, it adds carbs. Now, again, we're sort of more low carb right now, not super strict keto, so I am using balsamic vinegar tonight, but the recipe calls for red wine vinegar, much fewer carbs than balsamic vinegar. So we're just letting all of our flavors and all of our onions just get nice and soft. And our cauliflower is doing its thing. And we're going to get busy on our keto popsicles here pretty soon. So I know most of the country is getting super cold, and it's like the idea of having a pumpkin cold thing seems kind of weird. But it's a little bit warm here right now. And the other thing that I love about these keto popsicles is that they're only about 3 or 4 carbs, but they take a really long time to eat, so you really get to enjoy them. And so we are going to be making some pumpkin spice cream popsicles, which I have some already made, so I'll show you what they look like when they're done, but I'll show you how we make them too. The other reason I love to make these pumpkin popsicles is because, I don't know about you, but I always have a half-open can of pumpkin not being fully used in my refrigerator, and I just put this little plastic bag over it so that I can save it for the next time. I could transfer it to a Tupperware or whatever, but I'm always looking for ways to add a little bit of pumpkin here or there because, I don't want it sitting in my fridge. Our onions are really starting to soften up. I've got red and yellow. If you only have yellow or you only have white or you only have red, then just use that. Use what you have on hand or what's on sale. I'm going to add 1 red bell pepper, 1 green bell pepper, and I like to do them in these ribbons. I think they look really nice in the dish. So we'll just add those in there and let those start to really soften up. Our chaffle mixture is nice and soft. So here's the next thing that we're going to do. We're going to take this off the heat. We're just going to let it cool down because we don't want to add, we're going to add it to our chaffle mixture, and we don't want it to cook the eggs and the cheese before it gets into the chaffle maker. So look at how beautiful our colorful dinner is. It's also super economical. You know, this package of sausage was $6, and I have one bell pepper, one green bell pepper, one red, one green, and half of each of the onions. So, I mean, this whole dinner was probably $10 for just this meal, and this is 4 servings. So we'll each have a serving tonight for dinner, and then we'll each have a serving for lunch tomorrow, or maybe even dinner tomorrow night. And so it's sort of a economical way to do keto as well. I always hear how expensive keto is, and you know, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. There are ways to get around it. Eggs are super inexpensive, and you know, different types of sausages like this could also be relatively inexpensive. All right, who came to see me? Oh, my lovely boyfriend came to see me. Hi, honey. Oh, so Darcy has a good point. Her family is always called stuffing. She calls it dressing. And I've heard that before. We have always called it stuffing. And my mom always added water chestnuts. And it literally came from the box. And we still love it. It's just so full of carbs. So we just try not to perpetuate that. If we are going to have carbs on Thanksgiving Day, we want to sort of try to control that, I guess, if you know, control it in a way so that you mitigate the damage, right? So let's see who else. Oh, hi, Michelle. Who else is coming? There's Elizabeth. There's Lynn. So great to see everybody. Oh, Angela says she had her Instant Pot for a year and she still hasn't used it. You just got to jump in. You know, the easiest thing to do with an Instant Pot is hard-boiled eggs. And I will never make hard-boiled eggs any other way. But hard-boiled eggs are the best to make in the Instant Pot. Super easy. Just set it for 5 minutes. I have a recipe on my website. It's just Instant Pot hard-boiled eggs. 5, 5, and 5. 5 minutes in the Instant Pot. Let it sit for another 5 minutes, and then 5 minutes in cold water. The easiest peeling hard-boiled eggs you will ever have. And as a matter of fact, I made some today. See? I'll have these in a salad. These are in the shell, hard-boiled. I'll make egg salad, or I'll put them in a Cobb salad, but it's just great to always sort of be prepared with those types of things. Okay. So our peppers and onions are nice and soft now. I'm going to take our sausage and I'm going to slice into them, and I'm going to cut them on the bias, meaning on the angle. You can cut them however you want. I like to cut them on the angle. I just think that they look prettier. Do you see how I'm cutting that on the angle? I think it looks a little bit prettier, and I think it's sort of a nice look. So we're going to add those. We're going to cut them on the bias. And again, they're not cooked yet. We'll put those in there. Wait, I missed a step. Sorry. Hold on one second. We have to put our seasonings in. So we have a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. You can omit this if you've got little ones that don't like spicy. So we've got pepper flakes. We've got a sprinkle of just a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. We've got a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Yeah. And a pinch of salt. Sausage tends to have a lot of salt in it already. We are salt lovers, so I'm not too worried about that. We're going to give those seasons just a little bit of a toss. And we will continue on with our sausage. So we'll keep slicing those on an angle. We're going to get these in here. Now, there's 2 more steps in this, but it's all sort of fluid. So don't feel like it's overwhelming, because you want to be able to cook the sausage all the way through, but it's not actually touching the pan. So the way that we do that is we're going to add a little bit of water and a little bit of vinegar, and we're going to steam the rest of the sausage pieces right in there, okay? To wash my hands again. Get this out of the way. So we'll do 2 tablespoons of water. 1, 2, and we're going to do 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Again, use red wine vinegar. I didn't have any, so I'm using balsamic vinegar. And I'm gonna just get the brown bits off of the bottom of the pan. And add just a tiny bit more water because I don't want the bottom of the pan to burn. Woo! Where's my... We're making lots of stuff tonight, you guys. Look at how beautiful that looks. And it smells amazing. So now we're gonna turn the heat down to low. It's super hot, but we're gonna put our lid over the top so that we steam all of the sausage. And I don't have a lid for my cast iron skillet, so I'm gonna actually put. I didn't realize that this lid doesn't fit fully. Last time I made it in a different pan. But I'm just going to put a piece of tin foil over the top because I want our sausage to fully steam for just about 7 to 10 minutes. In the meantime, let's get busy on our Chaffles. So I have 2 chaffle makers. They're $9 from Target or Amazon. And I have 2 because each chaffle, no matter what recipe you make, each chaffle takes about 4 to 5 minutes. So this recipe is for 8 chaffles because if you're having Thanksgiving and you want to make chaffles for the crowd, you can make one of these recipes and it's 8 chaffles. So we are going to take 2 cups of mozzarella cheese and 4 tablespoons of almond flour. And then I have, let's see, I'm going to see if I can do this right here. And then I have 4 eggs. We'll mix these in. And as soon as we mix these in, then we also mix in our stuffing mixture with all those Thanksgiving flavors. And that's kind of it. And I'm going to show you because I made a whole bunch today. Because I really am going to try to get a casserole for you because I know people like to have that sort of on the table. We're going to mix this is our onion and celery and herb, Thanksgiving herb mixture. We're going to put that right inside there. Just dump it all into the pan. And then we will mix the whole thing together. The eggs, the almond flour, the mixture. And like I said, I have 2 of these chaffle makers going. So because I have 2 of them, I can make 2 at the same time, which saves me from having 8 times 5 would be 40 minutes making these. It cuts the time in half. So it only takes 20 minutes. And I'm not going to make them all on camera because all you need to see is 1. So you'll take this mixture. I know it does not look so appetizing. It doesn't look so appetizing. Let's see who else came to see me. It's so fun seeing everybody. Hi, Starin. Get getting some great recipes. Sharon pulled out her Instant Pot and made my Mississippi pot roast, and her kids loved it. Yes. Okay, so our Thanksgiving stuffing chaffle mixture is ready. I'm going to do 8 servings into my chaffle makers. I'll do 2 at a time. And if it makes a little bit more than 8, that's okay. I like to not overstuff our chaffle maker because you don't want it oozing out the sides. It just causes more of a mess. So you just basically fill the chaffle maker, close it, and those will be done in 5 minutes. That's our cauliflower. See? I told you. It happens fast. So we'll do more of the chaffles when those are done. Those are cooking. Our cauliflower mash, we're going to get started on that in just a minute. Let's see, what should we do first? Let's check our sausage and see if it's done yet. It's getting there. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. Get that going. We'll get this out of the way. Let's do, let's do our popsicles now. Let's get those going. They're super easy. And they're really sort of a play on my other popsicle recipes. I just changed them up a little bit. I added different flavors to make them pumpkin. And the pumpkin spice recipe is all the the popsicle recipe is all sort of the same idea. We're going to take a cup of cream. We're going to mix that together with 1/3 of a cup of Lakanto monk fruit sweetener. That's a blend of monk fruit and erythritol. Then we will do 1/2 of a cup of pumpkin puree. Get that fully in there. And we are going to take our whisk and we will just whisk all that together until the sweetener has melted a little. It'll just take maybe like 3 minutes. We'll mix that the pumpkin puree into the cream. It's got a beautiful orange color. You guys can see that. It's delicious. And while that is doing its thing, I'm going to quick release our Instant Pot cauliflower, because then we're going to make the best cauliflower mash ever. Ready? Woo! You can't see it, but can you hear it? Do not be afraid of the Instant Pot steam. It's super safe, and if you could see it, it's not even that hot. It just feels like it's a little scary, but I swear it's not. Okay, let's check our chaffles. They're getting there. I want them to be nice and crispy and delicious and yummy, but they'll be chewy on the inside and have all the flavors of Thanksgiving. They're delicious. So these popsicles make this recipe, which I'll have up on the website hopefully tomorrow. This recipe makes about 9 popsicles, and I don't know, I'm not really a popsicle person, but I like these, so they're good for me. So our popsicles, that's almost melted now. Let's check our sausage. Ooh, it's looking good. So as soon as our sausage is cooked through, I'm going to take the tin foil off, and I'm going to let all of the liquid evaporate, and I'm going to let all the onion caramelize and come together, and we'll let that get nice and yummy. We'll turn that down just a tiny bit. Our chaffles are doing their thing, and our pumpkin is nice and mixed together, and I've got the sweetener in there too. So I am going to add I have a half a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. Now, I make my own pumpkin pie spice. The recipe is on my website, The Kellie Kitchen. And there's a recipe to make your own pumpkin pie spice. It's just nutmeg and cinnamon and cloves and stuff like that. But you can buy pumpkin pie spice, especially right now. It's in the supermarket. But I have that, and I have a little bit of xanthan gum. And I'm going to sprinkle that in like pixie dust, and I'm going to whisk that in here. The xanthan gum, I'd like to say that it is optional. However, the xanthan gum tends to give this recipe, the popsicles, like almost like a fudgesicle, like a little bit of a chew and less icy. So I kind of like that for that reason. So the xanthan gum is kind of necessary, but not fully necessary. And then I have a cup of unsweetened, unflavored almond milk. And I'm going to take my pumpkin mixture. See my pumpkin, it's my sweet pumpkin mixture, and I'm going to mix that into my almond milk. And the reason I don't put the almond milk in here is because I want this to start cooling down. The more I can get it to cool down before I put it into the freezer, the quicker it will be made into popsicles, right? Okay, so so I mixed my pumpkin pie spice, my xanthan gum. I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice extract. You don't have to do this. You could use vanilla if you wanted to, but pumpkin pie spice extract. And I'm going to do a half of a teaspoon. Just gives it another punch of pumpkin flavor. And here are, so if you're just joining me for the first time tonight, I have popsicle molds. I have more popsicle molds than I know what to do with, but I like using Dixie cups. They're paper. They are easy to store in the freezer. They are easy to get out of their casing, and I just think they're it's just sort of better, more economical. You could use the reusable popsicle molds. They just take longer to get out. I just wanted to show you while I'm doing this that I have, where did I put my thing? I have taken the lid off of my sausage and peppers, and the liquid in the bottom of my sausage and peppers is starting to cook down. And if you can see, you see how nice and caramelized my onions are? That, you guys, is flavor gold. This is beautiful. I might need a new picture because this is amazing and beautiful, and it's almost done. We're just gonna let that sit there and let the liquid evaporate. And while we're doing that, we're gonna do our popsicles. Oh, forgot our truffles. Ah, yum and delicious. See, you can't really screw things up here. These things just sort of all come together. So there are 2 of our Thanksgiving stuffing chaffles. I'll get 2 more going while the rest of our stuff is cooking. And then we're going to get busy on our cauliflower mash. Don't worry, I did not forget about it. We're going to have dinner done in like 35 minutes. I could do a whole freaking Thanksgiving dinner in an hour. Okay, sausage are done. Chaffles are done. Time to pour our popsicles. So this will make 9 popsicles. It should make about 9 popsicles. And I like to do them in these Dixie cups. I have popsicle sticks, which I get at CVS or Rite Aid or whatever. I get them in the craft section. You can get them online too. And I don't actually put them in yet. I put them in about an hour when these start to really, really freeze up. Who said hi to me? Elizabeth. Hi, thanks for saying that. You're so sweet. It's so great to see everybody. So anyways, I put my popsicle sticks in kind of later. Like I let the pumpkin cream mixture freeze a little bit, and then I add my popsicle sticks so that they stand up straight. You could put a piece of tin foil on top, and that would be fine too. And see, that one has a little bit extra. There, my friends. Woo, that one has a little bit extra. Gotta make them even, right? There we go. So these are my pumpkin spice cream popsicles. These are going in the freezer right now, and these will be done tomorrow. So these are something that you want to make ahead of time. You make them ahead of time. I'm going to show you a frozen one in a second, but I got to get started on our cauliflower mash. Ooh, coming at ya. Okay, you guys. Here is our steamed cauliflower. I am going to get all of the water out of here. Just going to drain as much of the water out as possible. That's sort of the trick of cauliflower mash, is that you don't want to have any liquid. You want to get as much liquid out of the thing as you possibly can. You also are going to take the trivet out. Okay, so all I have left in here is my cauliflower. There's no water, there's no liquid. I'm going to put that right on top. It's on the stovetop is not on, but it is warm, so that'll help evaporate some of the water as well. The thing about cauliflower mash is that you don't want to add a bunch of liquid like you do with potatoes. You know how you add milk or cream. This situation is 3 tablespoons of cream cheese. Just dump that right in there. I like to soften it a little bit so that I don't have a bunch of clumps. I have 2 tablespoons of butter. Put that right in. I do 1 teaspoon of salt. I do just I like to use cracked pepper in this. It's finer. So I do maybe like 7 or 8 turns of that. And then I do 1/4 of a cup of Parmesan cheese. And the trick, so this is 1/4 of a cup. I'm pretty good at measuring and eyeballing it. I don't need to dirty up another thing. So here's one of my favorite tools in my kitchen. My immersion blender. My immersion blender, you can use a fork if that's all you have. You can use a regular blender. You can use a food processor, but this is my favorite. And somebody was like, well, why wouldn't you just use a blender or whatever? Because I don't have to wash another pan. When I'm done with this, this is the only thing that I have to wash. I don't have to wash a Cuisinart. I don't have to wash a blender or whatever. This goes right into the dishwasher. And it's sort of easy peasy to do. This one of our Chaffles is all done. So we're going to take that out of there so I only have 2. So see how quickly those Chaffles come together? I'm going to get this out of the way. And we will, with our stick blender, we are going to macerate and puree our cauliflower mash into the most delicious. Gotta use this, it's a little hot. Sorry, guys. And that's it. Super easy. Here's the thing. Somebody said to me the other day, I mean, if I had a nickel for every single time somebody said, but it doesn't taste like mashed potatoes. Duh, you guys, it's not mashed potatoes. It is a substitute because we don't want to eat all the carbs. So this is a pretty darn delicious substitute. Is my best cauliflower mash. So amazing and delish. And that's all on that. Let me show you what this looks like. I'll do some cauliflower mash. So there's our cauliflower mash. I gotta taste it. Peter! It's delicious! He's outside working out. So there's our cauliflower mash. Let's see, I'll just put that right there. And then I'm gonna add just a little bit so you guys can see our sausage and peppers. Let's get this in the shot. This is a showstopper, right? Look at that. Oh my deliciousness. Wow, you guys. Look at my sausage and peppers. These peppers and onions are so delicious. They almost taste like candy. They're super, super, super sweet. And so, so good. Okay. You've seen our keto Thanksgiving stuffing chaffles. Those were amazing. That's for dinner. I wanted to show you. These are the chaffles that I made today. And I cut them up in little squares because I'm going to try and pull together a stuffing casserole from my stuffing chaffle. Okay. Okay. One last thing to show you, and then we're gonna be all done. Remember our pumpkin popsicles? This, my friends, is what it looks like. Oh my God. Okay, this one's mine. Peter, don't eat this one. It tastes like a pumpkin cream, like a pumpkin pie on a popsicle. It's so good. That's definitely my dessert tonight. Well, it wouldn't be the Kellie Kitchen if I didn't drop something. One more time, you guys. If you want a chance to win one of my cute Kellie Kitchen aprons, go to my Instagram, The Kellie Kitchen, and like the sausage and pepper post that I just posted. Follow me, share it with some of your friends, and we're going to have a drawing tomorrow morning, and whoever wins gets one of my cute aprons, and you can pick if you want white, blue, or dark gray. So go to Instagram if you want to win one of these, or if you want to buy one too, you can. But all the recipes are on the website. Like, share, do all that crazy stuff. I'm so happy that you came. I'm so happy that I have an amazing, delicious dinner. Do you guys even realize we are done? Only 45 minutes. And we got sausage and peppers. We got the best cauliflower mash. We got Thanksgiving stuffing chaffles. And we got pumpkin spice popsicles. Wow, in 45 minutes. And by the way, that mess that's in the sink will take me about 5 minutes to clean. So easy peasy. Peter will come in here and help me with that. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're watching this on repeat and you have questions, put them in the comments because I read and look at everything. So thank you so much. I will see you next week. Bye.